YouTube, B Smokehouse back here with you. Today we're going to be making a bit of a different video in the fact that I'm not going to be outside as much. I did pretty much my outside cooking yesterday. I had a brisket flat that I'm getting ready to put on. Well, it's already been smoked. I'm reheating it. I've got my sous vide going at 140 degrees. But I think today we're going to be making a mac and cheese stuffed Chile Relleno. Something a bit different. Want to kind of fuse barbecue with Spanish style eating. This video we're going to start off by making that brisket mac and cheese, which we're then going to be stuffing inside a Chile Relleno. Some of this stuff is going to be traditional. Some of the stuff I'm going to do it the way I like to do it. Thank you for watching this video, and if you haven't done so, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Today is my birthday. I couldn't think of a more awesome way to celebrate that than just actually cooking. That's what I like to do when I'm not working, when I'm not teaching people how to fly planes. So let's get to it. Got a pot of water I'm bringing here to the boil. Nothing special has been done to it. I like to season my water. I'm using Diamond Crystal Kosher. How you guys doing on this Sunday? Huh? We went to church, got a bit of that word. Now I'm back. I've been relaxing. For the most part, we celebrated my birthday yesterday afternoon. So this pot of water is salted. I'll bring it to the boil before I drop my noodles in. In the meantime, we can get started working on this sauce. Again, I'm going to try and keep some things traditional, and then there are other things I'm going to make it to how I like to do things. I like to be set still somewhere while I talk, right? So we're going to get this melted down. This is the brand of beef tallow that we're using today. I don't like buying store-bought beef tallow because it can have an off-putting taste. However, I don't have any of my own, so this is what we'll use today. We're bringing a bit more flavor through using butter as well. So again, this is going to be a bechamel, aka cheese sauce. After this is melted, we're going to go in with our flour. Heavy on the flavor. That was a heaping tablespoon and a little bit of butter butter and beef tallow combined. So we'll get it in and we mix. Again, this is more of a blond roux, meaning I'm not cooking this as far as I would to get those deep brown or black notes, right? Like if we were to make a gumbo. I'm not going to take it that far. I did go into this pan with some garlic. And we're just cooking today, baby. I'm taking my time. It is fairly early. It's about 3:57. I want to get a start, so I'm not up all night editing and trying to put all this stuff together. Might go in with a little bit more of flour to get rid of those clumps. We're coming in with milk and heavy cream. This is milk. I don't have whole. I'm using what I have. This is 2%. And we're going to follow that up with some heavy cream. If you got whole milk, use it. Those fats are necessary here. Alright. Just remember that heavy cream is heavy cream would add a bit of sweetness. It's going to round this sauce out. I'm going to bring this to a boil and I'll bring you guys back. Alright, while we wait on the sauce to come to a bubble, I'm going to start imparting my flavors. Again, I still want this to be a barbecue dish. Alright, barbecue seasoning. Again, notice I haven't really added any salt. The cheese I'm going to throw in here is quite salty. That's that chupalicious. Following that up with a bit of garlic and herb. I'm going to turn the fire down. I don't want this sticking it up too fast on me. before I can get everything I need in here. All right. We going with some adobo. Mac and cheese is also one of those things where you never really catch me doing the same thing twice. Use the seasonings that I have. This is some beef bouillon. Don't need much. Again, that does have salt, so we're going just a tiny bit. Some Mexican style chili powder. This is hot. Just want to make sure we have a nice complex sauce, so that it just doesn't taste like we're just eating chilies that's been stuffed with mac and cheese, brisket mac and cheese. All right. Keep mixing this. Paprika. This sauce smelling good already. I haven't even added any cheese. And then of course garlic powder. Give it a mix. That's sticking up already. Again, remember I haven't even added any cheese in here yet, so I know I'm going to have to add a bit of water to stretch this out. Add for now. On top of that, before I get to mixing, I'm going with bagged cheeses today. Something I highly recommend against is using bagged cheeses because of the powders and anti-caking agents that they use inside of this. It makes it really hard for your cheese to melt. I don't have any block cheese at the moment. The block cheese that I did buy is to stuff these Relleno peppers with, aka poblanos. So that was a Fiesta blend. This is a little mozzarella. Alright, let's give it a mix. Let's see where we at as far as thickness goes. Turn my fire back up a little. Again, I don't want this to coagulate. I don't want it to be so tight that it won't move. I don't want the inside of these peppers to be dry. I'm going to achieve that by making sure this mac and cheese is nice and moist, not dry. Right? Just enough, right? So these have been, I usually oil my noodles so they don't stick. We're going to go down with just a bit of our cheese sauce. Again, I don't want to underdo it and I don't want to overdo it, right? More than likely this is going to have to go into the fridge. So I have a glove on. We're going to sauce this until I think that we're good to go. I'll give it a taste. More than likely we will season. I think this will do it, but what I want to do is, I still got my glove on. We're going to hit it with some adobo. Bring in some of those Spanish flavors into the game. Just remember, this is going to be a fusion of barbecue and Spanish flavors, right? Mac and cheese itself is probably more American than it is Italian. Maybe soul foodish, if you will. And then a bit more of this chicken bouillon. I'm a big fan. Not too heavy because it does pack some salt. Right. Smelling delicious. This is more flat than it is fatty. So we're going to take a nice chunk. Nice chunk. This should do us about right. Let's see what we got. I use mesquite chunks, and you can definitely smell it. But I think it's going to be a nice necessary addition to what we've got going on. I like that. It looks pretty good. That fat is rendered. Again, this has been in my sous vide for the last 2 hours. Just bring it back to 140. I'll set this to the side. Set this to the side, making sure we still include into the overall. But we're gonna get this chopped up. Got That mac and cheese I pulled from the fridge, it is somewhat chilled. We're gonna go in. This is that beautiful mesquite smoked brisket. We're gonna get it in there. I don't think we can use too much of this. Here's what I like about this: some of that bark. See those little black pieces? Heavy on smoke. And we're gonna get this mixed around. So now this mac and cheese has started coagulating because it's a bit cold, and that's fine. So this is where that extra sauce might come in handy. Smells awesome. A little bit more. I'm using my hands. Believe it or not, hands are some of the best utensils in the kitchen, guys. Doing this because I feel like I got more control. Got a bit more control. Get the mix. This is thickened up because of that brisket. That's what I'm looking for. So here's what I don't want. Because those peppers, I mean, we don't have any large poblano peppers like I usually see in the grocery store. The ones we have are somewhat smaller. So any of the space that we're going to use up, I want to be occupied by cheese, macaroni, and brisket. So again, this is going to go back into the fridge. To the fridge. I'll bring you guys back. I got some cleaning to do. I'll go ahead and get our assembly line going once I've prepared these peppers. And I'm going to show you guys what we do. So we got our mac and cheese, brisket mac and cheese. I've got other pieces of cheese, more common. I believe we bought some Oaxaca cheese in a block. It's already been chopped up. That's what we're going to stuff down the center of these poblanos. Oven on air fryer mode. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hit these with a little bit of oil. They have been washed. I'm going to hit them with a little bit of oil. Just a little bit. You don't need much. And then we're going to roast these. Why do we roast? Well, we're going to roast these because we want these skin to bubble. That'll lend to some texture, some actual char. And you could very well do these on a barbecue pit over direct coals. But today, again, we're in the kitchen. I'm going to use my air fryer mode on my oven. So you just want to give these a slight massage. Okay. Trying to keep, the whole kind of point of this is to try and keep these intact as much as possible. Now when I pull these out, they're going back to steam, and then you'll see how we work those internals out. Get all those pods and everything, the seeds and the pith out, and start to stuff these. That's where we're headed. 20 total minutes. Let me show you what one of the peppers looks like. 20 total minutes on the air fry setting of my oven. These are hot, so I won't be able to handle them for long. That's what we're looking for. We got some good char. That skin is already peeling and blistering. Get them in the bag to let them steam. And then I'm going to set these in my microwave for the next 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'll pull them out, show you guys how we're going to get them peeled and then stuffed. Stay tuned. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start beating these egg whites. We got to beat them until stiff peaks form. I am doing this by hand against my better judgment. It's going to take a while. The hand mixer, so now we definitely have stiff peaks. I'm going to go ahead and actually I might beat these egg yolks before getting them in. And you want to gently fold in the egg yolks. A little mix. The recipe I'm looking at also says you can add a pinch of salt to stabilize this mixture so your peaks can stay as stiff as long as possible. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get a silicone spatula. And we're going to fold these yolks into the egg whites. Nice fold. Which kind of begs the question, what was the stiff peaks for? to make you go, All right. So apparently the yolks add stability, but I guess the pinch of salt also adds a bit of seasoning and stability to this kerfluffle. Alright, that's going to be good enough for my book. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my breading station. And then here shortly we're going to get those chilies clean. I probably should have did it before this. Who's judging? Not me. And we're going to go ahead and knock this out. Stay tuned. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start cleaning these peppers. Alright, so here's what the pepper looked like. We're going to go ahead and start getting as much of the skin off as possible, right? What I normally do, I'll take a knife, the back of the knife, and scrape a lot of this off. Because we're still going to need to make an incision. Again, these are going to be stuffed. She likes doing them under the sink, that's fine. If she moves to the sink, I prefer you guys to see one that she does first. She's done this before. Alright, we've done enough on camera. I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera playback right now. And then I'll bring you guys back when we have these open. And we're going to go ahead and start to stuff these. Stay tuned. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put the chili rellenos together. I've got my assembly line. My wife's trying to move a bit fast. She wants to cook and eat. I understand that. But look, I want you guys to see what we got. I've got some flour for dredging and dusting. I've got my egg whites and yolk mixture. I've got that beautiful brisket mac and cheese, and then of course I've got my chilies. These have been de-seeded. We have left some of the seasoning on purpose. I also have some Oaxaca cheese. Right, so let's put a few of these together. We're gonna do 2 or 3 of them on camera, and then the rest we'll get off camera, just so we can go ahead and get to cooking and this process doesn't take too long. Any of the mac and cheese that we don't use for this, I'm gonna pop it in the microwave, pop it in the oven, sorry, warm it up. This will also be on the side of these poblanos to eat. So she just stuck a piece of cheese. She just stuck a piece of cheese in this poblano. Now she's gonna fill it with this cold mac and cheese mixture. I ended up using about 95% of that cheese mixture because I didn't want a dry product. And as you can see, we have brisket throughout. I'm trying to get this stuff out of the way, guys, so you can see. That's kind of the whole bang of this camera here.
So you just put it in there and reshape your chili to cover all the surfaces.
Alright, so then now I'm sure this one will be getting rolled in the flour dredge.
You start it. And then you just want to make sure you cover all your surfaces. Shake it a little bit. And then we're going to dip it in here.
And when she's done, she's gonna set it right back here on the
Nope, it's gotta go right in the oil.
Okay. I think I might be on camera and do you guys. I want you guys to see the whole process. Not as hard as it sounds or seems. Alright, she's going straight to the oil. Those and that mac and cheese as well. Alright guys, so I had to call a break in the show. I totally forgot. After we put those peppers together, we stuffed them and everything. Forgot they need to go in the freezer for a little bit. So we dropped 1, 2 in. The first one, guess our grease was a bit hotter, and the fact that the pepper and the ingredients inside wasn't frozen, it started to spill out the pepper. So actually, before my son digs into his, let me show you what it looks like. I think it looked pretty good. I tasted it with the sauce on it too. Oh, I'm so sorry. I tasted it with the sauce and it tastes pretty good. This is what we're looking at. I'm gonna get pictures and B-roll footage as soon as we take these out of the freezer. I went ahead and cut my grease. So we're gonna wait until those things are semi-cold, semi-frozen, and then we'll start dropping them in the oil again. Stay tuned. That orange sauce is a chipotle cream that I made. All right, we just pulled it out of the freezer. She's giving them a dip again, and then a dip in the flour, and then in the batter, we're going straight in. Again, this grease still needs to be a bit hotter. All right, let's see. She's mixing that batter. So I've tasted these. They taste actually pretty delicious. All right, but these are the ones we're gonna get our pictures and stuff from. Then I'm gonna sit down, probably grab me a Coke or something, and we're gonna eat. Moving much. All right, we just gave this one a flip. I like where these are headed. We're gonna get these cooked through, and I'll bring you guys back when we get ready to get a taste test. Stay tuned. All right, here's the finished product. I took me one of those Chile Rellenos. Right, looking pretty good. I made a homemade chipotle sauce off screen. Let's go ahead and bite into this because this is my dinner, and eventually I'm getting ready to get a Coke and sit down and eat this. So I'm gonna cut it to the bottom. Let's see if we can find that mac and cheese. Oh yeah, can you? Ooh, look at that. Looks pretty good. Can you see that mac and cheese in there? Mac and cheese, and then I have to make a correction. That stick of cheese that went inside is asadero cheese. Smells good, looks good. Let's see what we have. Ooh, that's a cheese pull. Eeh. See what we got. All right, mac and cheese is flavorful, still moist. Taste the different types of cheese inside of that mac and cheese. That chili is putting off flavor. It's not hot. Overall, I think I could add some more spice. The white onions and the cilantro here are lending to that Spanish/Mexican theme. This is pretty good, pretty delicious. That sauce that I made, because it has chipotles in it, it's giving a nice creaminess and background flavor. That's really good. That breading may be lighter than tempura, holding everything together. Now we had some issues from the get-go because we didn't put these in the freezer, get them cold before deep frying. Everything you see here, this is not oil. This is moisture from that pepper. All right. This is flavorful. It's delicious. I'll definitely be making these again. Not so positive if I'll just keep it to a standard mac and cheese. Maybe we do a seafood mac and cheese or something like that. If you haven't done so, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm getting ready to make myself a drink, sit down and eat this. This is my dinner. Until next time, Beef Smokehouse out.